If you're a practicing architect in Europe, you know that there's a certain kind of material that has taken our world by storm.
And it's wood.
And that is exactly why visiting the Aedes Architectural Forum and its exhibition Wood is Up was very high on my to-do list. With relevant timber projects and models featured from architecture studios all around the world, like Snoheta and Chaban Vos, there was a lot to see. But I'm not the one who's going to tell you about it.
Can you tell us why do you believe that wooden architecture is important?
Well, Aedes, for more than 30 years, has been engaged in discussing green and sustainable architecture, and alternative materials have always played a role in this. And in the search for better ways to construct our built environment, we think that timber plays an important role and has obtained a more prominent part, especially in Europe. And our intention with this exhibition was to show a status quo, how construction with timber has come and now has changed the working structures as well. That's why we have also placed an important part on mentioning all the other protagonists in constructing with timber, like engineers and also the providers and other kinds of planners, which you can see on the panels. It has a big part on it. And it makes clear that in order to build with timber, you not only need good architects, you also need clients who are willing to invest in sustainable building, you need specialists for physics and statics, and you need competent providers for materials. So that's it.
Could you also tell us about how you organized this exhibition and how you selected the projects for it?
So we did not select the projects, but we discussed with many architecture studios that we have worked with in the past and asked them what are your relevant timber projects. And the projects in this exhibition are very diverse, and we have examples of modular construction, of hybrid constructions in various combinations. We have extensions to existing buildings, projects that have a strong focus on sustainability, and many different typologies like kindergarten, schools, offices, and so on and so on. And last but not least, there's also focus on the working process, which is very diverse in the different generations of architects.
There's a lot of projects in this exhibition, so I just wanted to ask you personally, which one of them seemed the most important to you and maybe why?
Yeah, so this is a question I cannot answer because it's so diverse, you know, you cannot compare them really, and it's also difficult to pick an example. And for us, this show really works as an overall thing, a whole thing, and it gives an overview of current status and different options.
Now that the exhibition has been kind of going for a while, what do you think the reaction was from the general public and maybe other architects that visited?
First of all, at the opening, the response was immense. We had like over 600 people here, and what made us even more happy was that many people from younger generations came. And during the course of the exhibition now, we saw a lot of response to the social media posts we did, and of course there are a lot of visitors, and this is a really great response. And because of that, we decided to do a discussion event on May 7th, 6 p.m. with many of the protagonists from this exhibition. And if anybody wants to register, in a few days we will publish it on our website.
Thank you for the answer. How did Aedes in general become interested in wooden architecture, and why is it important maybe to you as a company and as an exhibition place?
Yes, Aedes has been dealing with timber buildings since many years. We've had several exhibitions, like starting, for example, in 2012 with Holzwerk Holz. That was an exhibition about the first 7-story timber project in a city, actually in Berlin, by Karten Klingbeil. In 2018, we had an exhibition called Woodland Sweden. That was about contemporary timber construction in Sweden, because they have a lot of ancient stuff. And in 2020, we had an exhibition called Timber Tales by Weber Brunner Architekten, with 4 very interesting discussion events as well. And in 2021, we exhibited the highest timber building in Europe, I think maybe in the world, 20 stories in northern Sweden by white architects. So we have a history of timber exhibitions, but also in many other exhibitions, timber is a topic, like, you know, when you talk about sustainability and other new materials and stuff like that. So we had a lot of exhibitions. And for us, this also means that timber is not only like a material for specialists, it has become something that everybody works with. And that's very important to show.
That's exactly what we want to see.
Yes.
As future architects. Now that I kind of mentioned the future, how do you see the future of timber wood architecture?
So we think that timber construction has so many advantages in terms of sustainability, well-being, construction processes, structural quality. And so we are sure that with the development of new methods, processes, it will become much more relevant. But there will not only be the one material for the future. We think that it's going to be more in like hybrid construction methods. And the one point for that is that it depends also where you build your stuff, like the location, you know. If you build in the woods in Sweden, of course you can do a nice timber building, but if you build like a city quarter in Zanzibar and you have to ship all your timber from Norway, it's not very sustainable. So, I mean, these things also play a role in the decision. And another task or challenge for the future is the regrowth and organization of the regrowth of renewable material worldwide.